What's going on, everybody? Today we're going to talk about the one Shrek thing that I'm pretty sure everybody has watched.
He grabs me with his powerful ogre hands and puts me on my hands and knees.
No, not that. I'm talking about the movie. That video's weird as shit. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to My Honest Opinion. Today we're going to talk about one of the best animated movies to date. Now, there are some pretty good ones nowadays, I won't lie. Been a lot of more, animated movies that came out, but it's definitely up there when you think about it. Maybe not initially in your head, but it's up there, right? Come on. Yeah, you gotta shake your head and nod, right? There you go. It's definitely up there. But let's get into the synopsis for the movie. For the very few amount of people that have seen this movie. Once upon a time, in a faraway swamp, there lived an ogre named Shrek, Michael Myers, whose precious solitude is suddenly shattered by an invasion of annoying fairy tale creatures. They were all banished from their kingdom by the evil Lord Farquaad, John Lithgow. Determined to save their home, not to mention his, Shrek cuts a deal with Farquaad and sets out to rescue Princess Fiona, Cameron Diaz, to be Farquaad's bride. Rescuing the princess may be small compared to her deep, dark secret. That was the synopsis for the movie on Google, and it's a very vague on purpose synopsis of the story. It sounds a little cliche though, because it's kind of like, oh, okay, well, this isn't that crazy or new. But then again, people nowadays, if you haven't seen Shrek or don't know about Shrek, and you read a synopsis, by that time you've already seen something related to Shrek though. Like, if you haven't seen this movie, it's almost dumbfounding, all right? Because it's not like Forrest Gump or Shawshank Redemption, where it's like, you haven't seen this movie? You could live your life without having to see it, most likely, you know? You can kind of say the same thing about Shrek, but at the same time, you can't. If you haven't seen Shrek, you're almost ostracized. Like, why the hell haven't you seen this movie, dude? It's like 18 years old now. Yeah, wow, the movie's 18 years old. Huh. But not taking the synopsis into the account, the story's uniqueness, I feel like, is strong. Because it kind of wipes its ass, not even almost, literally wipes his ass with fairy tale stories and says a big ol' fuck you to fairy tale stories. But the story wouldn't be as engaging without good characters. And I feel like for Shrek, take aside the comedy and you look at the struggles of the characters or their dialogue or what their actual goals are or how they actually feel within the movie. Each character, I feel, out of the main three at least, each character makes you think about something. I feel like with this movie, the overall theme is appearances. So let's get into characters.
Ogres are like onions.
So with this movie being about appearances, Shrek's main struggle, and it's from the get-go, is about how people view him as an ogre. Now, he best sums it up here.
People take one look at me and go, ah, help, run! A big, stupid, ugly ogre. They judge me before they even know me.
To Shrek, he's happy with who he is. He's an ogre, and he embraces it. He doesn't hide anything about him being a monster or anything like that. He doesn't give a shit. He's proud to be an ogre. He's living his life. But people still kind of hurt his feelings, you know? It still sucks to hear how much, oh, look, you're a stupid ogre. Nobody's gonna like you because you're automatically identified as a piece of shit. It's very criminal. It's very criminal to be ostracized as an ogre so quickly. But when it comes to appearance, Shrek is on one end of the spectrum where he can walk around proud, but it's not like words still don't hurt him, you know? It's not like still being called ugly by a whole tribe of people, just like that's like it's not gonna hurt. You know, that's why he's always angry and bitter and wants to be alone, because he feels like since nobody wants to be around him, fuck it, I can be by myself and I can still be happy. That's one end of the spectrum there.
I'm a princess, and this is not how a princess is meant to look.
Okay, so now Fiona. Fiona has a couple different things, right? But when it comes to appearance, she's on kind of the other end of the spectrum. And I know it's for plot's sake, but for her, her appearances need to be hidden and or just completely removed. Her ogre form is a part of her, but she doesn't accept it because of how she views things or how society for her at least is how it is. So she wants to get rid of it altogether because she doesn't fit into that section called beautiful. No. She doesn't feel like she belongs there when she's in an ogre form. So she wants to get rid of it as soon as possible. So she's on the other side. Shrek embraces it. She completely denies it. And it's for the movie, I get it. But it fits so well with the story of fairy tales and everything. Because, shit, if you're not Cinderella, Snow White, or Ariel, you ugly. You ugly. But when it comes to the character Fiona, though, there's a lot more subtext there. When we first meet Fiona, she's got this by-the-book plan set of how she's going to be happy. It's, you know, the knight shows up, kills the dragon, climbs up, gets her, kisses her, drops onto her horse, and they ride off into the sunset. That's fairy tale story right there. Those are almost all the old Disney movies right there summed up. You can switch things out like a puzzle piece, but that's pretty much the basis of the story. And for her, it's not going that way at all. And when she realizes that nothing's really going according to how it should have been, it kind of fucks with her head. It completely throws things off track to her. She's like, what? But this is supposed to be like that. This is supposed to be perfect. This is not perfect. So I can't be happy apparently. Like, that type of bullshit thinking. It gets shattered, and then she, it doesn't completely ruin her view set on everything because she also has that other factor of her being part ogre. She learns that not everything has to be perfect. Sometimes good things don't have to be perfect. That's a dope ass lesson. I gotta agree. But one thing Fiona does bring to the table is when she first meets with Robin Hood and the Merry Men. Because there, it's kind of expected. He's like, oh, damsel in distress with a monster. With this appearance, it looks like she's being held captive, and so I have to rescue her. And so he's under this quickly like, oh, I have to go save her, and she's going to be indebted to me, and she's going to let me kiss her, and I get a reward, and I might get laid, and I might get all these things just because I rescued her. And then she fucks him up. The one trope she does break is the whole damsel in distress because she kicks ass, bro. Okay? I'm talking Ip Man levels. I'm talking type levels, okay? She went crazy on everybody here, and they were not expecting it. She handled, I want to say, like between 6 to 10 guys. She murked them all. That's something new she brought to the table. She's a strong, independent woman who need no man, who need no ogre. Correction. But that's dope because you don't really see that too often when it comes to fairy tale stories. But as I said earlier, this movie kind of wipes its ass with tropes and the commonplace for a story, for a fairy tale. Wipes its ass with it altogether.
You're not that ugly. And where you are, I ain't gonna lie, you are ugly.
And so now Donkey. What I feel like for when it comes to Donkey definitely softens Shrek's heart. Because it gives him something he's never had. An honest, true friend who doesn't give a damn about what you look like, only cares about what you do or who you are as a person. Shrek's completely taken back by that at first. He's like, whoa, you don't care that I'm an ogre? Okay, I guess. He's not even sure how to react to that. Usually that's kind of like a, really? But he does. The only person he does that with is Fiona. So, the power of boners. Donkey does teach Shrek friendship, and also softens his heart to make him think. Maybe not everybody's like this. Maybe there are some nice people in the world that won't look at me instantly and identify me as a monster. So when it comes to other characters, we have to mention Lord Farquaad. Now, recently, I kind of found out that his name is almost like a play on words. Because if you say it fast enough or something like that, you have Lord Farquaad. Isn't the English language amazing? What John Lithgow brings to this character, to this caricature of fairy tale villains, is it shows how much of a vain and fascist Farquaad really is. And I can't think if there's any tropes. I'm not really too keen with fairy tale movies or stuff like that, or anything fairy tale stories besides just like the cliff notes of each story. Maybe he's like a caricature of Prince Charming. Maybe I think if anything, he's a caricature of what Prince Charming should be, but how he really is. How he meets you one day, he's only looking out for himself. He's vain. He's a fascist. Come on, Farquaad. Something that's not either the story or the characters is definitely all the little things that's sprinkled in throughout the movie. Like, for one, there's a lot of real world references. Okay, for the one section you have that whole dating show parody.
It's time for you to meet today's eligible bachelorettes. And here they are.
There's things like getting an eviction notice or making references to other movies like The Matrix. The fact that these real life things are thrown in with this pseudo fairy tale is funny as hell, which makes it even that more watchable because you're like, what the fuck? But it's just that little amount of effort that was added in definitely helps. Like, come on. It makes these movies, at least for me, I can get to 2. 2 is my favorite by far. 3, I've only seen maybe a couple times, and after that, I've only seen the 4th one once. But that kind of thing stays throughout the entire movie. Let's keep throwing in real life references and things that happen to people, everyday life, into these movies just to make them that more funny, because the kids will get their fill of it and the adults will get their fill of it. You don't want to watch a movie that's too kiddish, and you don't want to alienate little kids. You know, no little kid that I know is gonna sit up and watch 12 Angry Men. They're gonna be like, what is this old looking movie? I don't understand what any of them are talking about. Huh? For my last point, I feel like if everything overall, when it comes to appearances though, it definitely says something where it's like, sometimes the most unlikely of people can work out. Just because you either look, act, or are some way doesn't mean you can't interact with someone who could possibly be the entire opposite. But you wouldn't know because of like certain things. Maybe there are some things that start up as commonalities and then you just grow and grow and grow and you're like, wow, I never thought of me being with this person. What? That's dope. So then it comes to the time now. Let me get a drum roll, please. What I would have to give this movie as a rating would be a 9 out of 10.
I got a dragon here and I'm not afraid to use it. I'm a donkey on the edge.
That might seem a little high. No, I don't agree with you. This is my decision. I think it's 9 out of 10 because if you haven't seen this movie, I'll give you some slack because we're living a far enough time now. The movie's 18 years old, okay? It's not like it's 2009 or something where like, oh, you haven't seen this? What are you, 6? Like, there's been a whole other kind of generation. God damn, I'm getting old. There's been almost a whole other generation that's growing up. So if you still haven't seen this movie and you've heard about it or you've seen it in memes, watch the movie. You might not get everything, but it'll still be funny as hell to watch. Because at least you can go watch the movie and be like, oh, that's where that meme came from or some shit. Watch the movie and watch it for the movie, not for the memes, please. Then watch it for the memes. That's how it would work. Also, I did things a little bit differently where I posted the commentary first and then the review afterwards. If you guys like this way of doing it, you know, there's a little, I forget what they call it, but it's a little thing that pops up here. Put your vote in. See if you like it or if you like the old way of doing it, alright? But yeah, that was my honest opinion about the movie. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe. Ring the bell if you want me to keep annoying you. And if you liked my commentary with my friend Evelyn, I'm going to post her Instagram right over here. But I'll see you guys later. Peace out.